Hey everyone, this is munclesonkey. What's going on? And welcome to my 1 to 99 woodcutting guide. In this guide I'm going to be showing you the fastest and most efficient ways to get 99 woodcutting. Before we start, I do want to give the disclaimer that there will be a couple methods that I'll be skipping over, one of them being yew trees, another being magic trees. The reason why I'm not going to touch on these, even though they are very AFK and slightly profitable, is they're just too slow and they're not that great of money for how much time you put into them. So if you're looking to cut trees like that, I would highly recommend against it, and in this guide I will only be focusing on high XP per hour, and also elder trees, which can be some decent money. Of course, before you start actually woodcutting yourself, you need some tools to get the job done. So these are the hatchets and the levels that you need to use them. What I'd recommend to do is just have all these hatchets in your bank, and as you reach the levels for them, just add them one by one to your tool belt. They will go into your tool belt automatically. You can never remove them again, so keep that in mind. If a dragon hatchet is expensive for you, I would recommend to just wear it instead of putting it in your tool belt, because that way you don't lose the money. You can sell it after you're done woodcutting. But the level 61 Inferno adds is a reward from the All Fired Up minigame. This does take level 92 firemaking as well to obtain the adds. I will touch on this more in my level 99 firemaking guide, or you can look up a guide on how to get the adds yourself. Just keep in mind level 92 firemaking is required. The 99 firemaking guide is coming soon. I will have a link in this video to my 99 guides playlist, and when it's out it will be in that playlist. And for some XP rate boost, there are three things that you can use for woodcutting. First of all is woodcutting urns. I do have a guide on how to do urns. It's kind of a complicated process, so I can't go over it in this video, but just watch that guide. Or you can just go to the GE, search for a strong woodcutting urn. It requires level 61 crafting. Buy them and add earth runes to them and keep them in your inventory while you woodcut. Disclaimer, this does not work on ivy and crystal trees. Also, the lumberjack clothing could be obtained from the minigame Temple Trekking. It is quite rare. I have completed Temple Trekking and I only got 2 out of the 4 pieces of lumberjack clothing, but I feel like I was pretty unlucky. So if you do Temple Trekking for your completionist cape requirement, there's a good chance that you can get that lumberjack clothing as well, which will provide a 5% XP boost. Also, if you're on a clan and have access to the avatar, always have it with you while you're woodcutting, because the extra 6% XP boost can really help a lot. So when you are at level 1 woodcutting, what I'd recommend to go is the place just south of the Grand Exchange in Varrock, kind of by this large house, and also the place where you start the Gertrude's Cat Quest. There are a lot of trees here, and it's also convenient because this is where you're going to be chopping once you get to level 15 woodcutting as well. All you can chop at level 1 is just normal trees, so just run around to them. You'll only get 1 log per chop. This will change as you get onto higher level trees. But as you're starting, just begin chopping the regular trees, just run around. You can either bank these or craft them into bow or arrow shafts if you'd like. If you do that, you'll get some fletching XP as well. And if you're just starting out with fletching, this can be a really good way to level, is just by making these into arrow shafts. And it also means you don't have to bank, which is also rather convenient. Once you have reached level 15 woodcutting, you can now cut oak trees, which are, again, conveniently located in the exact same place as where you started woodcutting. So there are 3 oak trees located here, all around this little thing with 4 pillars. And you can cut these, and these are slightly more AFK because you can chop them for a long time, and they will take more than 1 log before the tree actually falls over. So you can just cycle in between these 3 trees. Usually there is no one else here, so there should be no problem at all getting these trees all to yourself. Again, this won't take very long because you'll only be here until level 30, and then it's time to move on till the next spot. So just stick here for about half an hour or so. Once you reach level 30, we'll be headed towards willow trees, which are the next trees you can cut. Once you're level 30 woodcutting, you come down here to the Draenor village by the fishing spots and also by the marketplace, and there will be a large clump of willow trees. Again, with the bots gone, there is hardly anyone ever here, so you can cut these willows all by yourself. And provided that you're using urns, these can be up to 40k woodcutting experience in hours, so they're much faster than the oak and the regular trees, and it's a big upgrade, which is good because you'll be here for quite a while. You'll be cutting these willow trees until level 68 woodcutting, where you'll have a couple alternatives of different trees to cut. One that is definitely more AFK, and one that is not as much but is faster woodcutting experience, and I'll touch onto them in just a second. But if you wish, you can bank your willow logs in the Draenor bank, which is very close by, which I would recommend because it's much faster than dropping the logs. But just keep in mind that these willow logs are not worth very much. They're usually about 10 GP each, so you're not going to be making much of a profit off of cutting these, so don't get your hopes too high on making cash. After 68 woodcutting, you have a decision to make, whether you want to AFK or whether you would like to chop a little bit faster and still somewhat AFK, but definitely still have to pay attention to the screen a lot more than if you decide to cut ivy. So if you do decide to go the AFK route, my favorite ivy place to go is you just use the cabbage port on your explorer's ring. There are many other places to cut ivy. You can just Google it and find many results yourself. This is my personal favorite one. There's also an elder tree here if you ever get the need to chop one of those. But yeah, this is just south of the Artisan's Workshop, and you can cut ivy here. At level 68, cutting ivy is about 60k experience per hour, and this progresses up to 90k experience per hour in the high 90s of woodcutting. Just keep in mind that urns don't work here, so there is no need to bring any, and there's no need to pay attention to the screen except for when the ivy goes away, which only happens once every few minutes, and occasionally you'll also get a bird's nest, but other than that, you can just AFK away. If you are a more motivated individual and would rather get faster experience per hour, but not be able to AFK as much, teak logs is the way to go at level 68. And we'll be doing this for quite a while. We'll actually be sticking with teak logs or ivy, whatever you choose, until about level 90 or 94. Which is, again, where you're faced with another choice, whether to AFK or whether to go for faster experience per hour. So what you want to do is teleport to the Karamja Lodestone. Make sure you have 100 trading sticks in your inventory. These can be bought from the Grand Exchange for about 4 to 5 GP each, so they're not very expensive. But anyway, just go quick pay 100 into this little forest here, and there are lots of teak trees around. So your initial response might be, the teak log's first option is at craft, which means you can't drop them with the action bar, right? This is going to be a huge pain. Well, no, there's actually a little trick around this. You can go to your settings and go to game settings and click one button gameplay, and then go to your action bar and make sure a teak log is on the bottom of your action bar and your action bar is on the bottom of your game screen. Now while you see I chop teaks, you want to move your mouse to the upper part of the square where the teak log is on your action bar and just double click it, and your character will drop the teak log and he will also continue woodcutting. So this won't stop his woodcutting animation. You can also use this for other activities like barbarian fishing. You can even use this with mouse keys, although technically some consider that against the game rules, so that's just a decision you'll have to make on your own. But this can be a very quick way to drop the teak logs without too much hassle and not stop your experience per hour, so it's a very good way to train. At around level 90, cutting Arctic pines becomes faster experience than cutting teaks, and it is also the best woodcutting experience in the game currently, so this is what I would recommend to do from level 90 to 99. I will also touch on crystal trees at level 94 if you would prefer to AFK, so if you would rather do that, just stick at ivy until level 94. But if you are motivated enough to go for the fastest experience per hour, you have to at least start at the Fremenic Isles quest, and you want to just travel to at Nitsanot, at this woman and the Relica docks, and you'll go to the island with lots of yaks. And the reason for this island is there are Arctic pine trees on this island, and if you go north of the bank across the bridges, there's a spot with a lot of Arctic pines where you can chop them very effectively. If you are in a clan with a clan avatar, make sure to bring the avatar with you, as this will boost your experience per hour. This is the spot where I would recommend to cut the trees. Don't worry, as these trolls are not aggressive and they will not attack you. So just make sure to cut your trees. Again, having an infernal adds here really helps a lot, just because it means you will have to empty your inventory less. The nice thing about Arctic pine logs is they do not have a craft option first, as many other logs do. The option instead is light. Now this isn't drop, so you won't be able to just spam click drop the logs out of your inventory. But one neat thing that you can do is you can just spam click on the logs in your inventory, or spam the keybind that is bound to the logs on your action bar. And if you spam it really fast, your character will drop a whole bunch of logs and light one of them. He'll do this for about 10 logs, so about 10 logs will go on the ground, and then he'll light a fire, and then he'll move over a space, drop another 10 logs, and light another fire. But basically it just means that you can empty your inventory very, very quickly by just spamming on your action bar, and you don't have to worry about getting these logs out of your inventory any other way. Once you're at level 94 woodcutting, there is an alternative to ivy that is actually faster experience per hour and just about as AFK, which is called crystal trees. The best way to find these crystal trees is by joining the friends chat tree hunt, and they will give you locations of them. You can also just go to any crystal tree on Runescape and click look at, and it will point in the direction of which the tree is. And the trees are all in a large diamond, so just going to one crystal tree can show you where the next crystal tree is. Crystal trees are pretty good experience. They're about 100k XP per hour in the high 90s, so not quite as fast as the Arctic pines, but still fairly fast. And these are definitely the most AFK way to get you to 99 and also get some pretty decent experience. So if that's what you like to do, this is the place for you to go. If you would like to obtain 99 woodcutting a bit of a slower XP per hour method but gain a lot of money as well, one thing that you can do is cut elder trees. Now my favorite way of cutting elder trees is by cabbage porting. And there's elder tree very close to the cabbage port. And after every 5 minutes of cutting these trees, they run out, and then you have to go find a new one and cut that for 5 minutes, and then you can come back. So basically you have to switch between trees every 5 minutes. Now, there are very many locations of elder trees around Runescape, and you can always just pick which one's your favorite. My favorite is cycling between this one here at the cabbage port, and then if you go to the Varrock lodestone, there's one just to the east of the lodestone. These are probably the two most convenient ones to get to because they're very close to two teleport spots that most people have access to. Now, elder trees aren't very good XP per hour. They're about 30k woodcutting XP per hour or so, but you can make a good 400k cash an hour as well, and if that feels like it's worth it to you, then this might be something you want to consider training on to get level 99 in woodcutting. Now the final method that I'm not going to touch on, but I will leave you a link to a guide to, is C2 woodcutting. C2 woodcutting gives you about the same woodcutting experience per hour as crystal trees at level 90 and above. However, you also get 70,000 fishing XP per hour as well in addition. So it can be very worth it if you need to train that fishing skill as well. Just keep in mind that it's not AFK, but it is very fast overall experience per hour and two relatively slow to train skills. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a guide, the link in the description, and it should also be up on the screen as well, so just click either of those links and it'll open up a new tab with that guide. But anyway, that's about all for this woodcutting guide. I hope that it helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or join my friends chat in game at munclesonkey, and I'll be glad to answer them. That's all for this video, and farewell.